that thing. What's up, George? What's going on in the House of Craze tonight?
Tonight, we have another live show. We have Jerry Chatelain, The Elements, Burden of Truth by E4 Comics on Kickstarter Live. What's up?
I was writing to Jerry, but I did it in a live chat.
That's coming up next.
It's coming up next. This is how we do it.
We are the only show for independents all around, giving you a platform to spread your word all over town. Catch the Craze is the place to promote to your fans with the Dreamer, Medina, and Sam the Crazy Man. Subscribe to our show and never miss an episode. It's time to get your mans, listen to us on the go. Updated every week, we never miss a day. Join the squad, come on in. It's time to catch the Craze. If you are an independent, catch the Craze. Making moves on your own, catch the Craze. On your grind in the streets, catch the Craze. Join the movement, catch the Craze.
Yeah, George, we did it again. Come on now. You know you want to do it. Catch the Craze. Welcome to Catch the Craze Podcast. I'm your host with the most, Sam the Crazy Man Vera, and I am with
George, the Dreamer, Medina. What's happening, everyone? Welcome to another exciting episode of Catch the Craze. We are live. We are live with a Kickstarter special today. We're going to have, the book is called The Elements, Burden of Truth, and it's by E4 Comics. Jerry Chatelain will be on the show talking to us about that book and about that campaign coming up in a few minutes. But if you have not yet done so, if you've stumbled upon our show and you're like, who are these two guys? Subscribe to the channel. Find out.
talking about America's Most Wanted.
subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. Comment in the comment section. Hit the bell so that you are reminded when we are live doing these shows. We have a live show right now, and then at 8 o'clock we have the monthly live show coming up next with Sebastian Bonet.
Yes. So in the event that you did see us in America's Most Wanted, I am Paco. He's Loco. He's the violent one. That's the one that you really want.
Why do you always have to throw me under the bus?
I just happen to be the driver.
I'm mild-mannered, bro. I'm mild-mannered. You know what I mean? You're the vato, bro. You're the vato. You're saying I'm loco. You're saying I'm loco?
I said I'm Paco. You're Loco.
I thought you said you vato and I'm loco. Vatos locos forever, man. Oh, man. Yeah, we're having a good time. Sammy's putting things in the chat he's not supposed to. Good thing you weren't being,
That's what I did. That one live stream that I did, and I didn't realize. I thought I was sending you a DM, and I put it all out for the world to see. I was like, oh!
Watch yourself, man. You gotta watch
There's too many screens. Let me Herb. Where's Herb?
Oh, my goodness. Anyway, so what's going on, Sammy? We're gonna give everybody a little insight into what's going on in the Catch the Craze household. So what you got? We got Duty still alive.
5 days left. 5 days left of the campaign. We can still either raffle off that 6-cent figure if we get to 150 backers, or 5K in pledges, whichever comes first, and someone can get the Duty 6-cent figure. You see it right behind me. Sitting over there, he's waiting. He's painted. He's ready to go. He's like,
yeah, nice. Did you finished it?
Just detail work. I'm doing the line work. For the most part, it's 90% done. The one, and so I'm gonna do. It's interesting is that I'm gonna do like a variant color version of the military duty. So there's going to be the standard one, which is the beige uniform, but then I'm going to use like military green for another one. So I'm going to do variants and see which one people prefer.
Oh, nice. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's still up for grabs. There's
Yeah,
5 days
so
left. So yeah, man.
5 days left. The campaign ends Tuesday next week.
Next week on
Yeah.
Tuesday, right? What time is it at 10 o'clock or something? It's a late night.
It ends at 10 o'clock. I will be on what is the name of that show? The new show with C. Michael Lanning and Stone Abdullah.
That's
I will
right.
be on their show to close out the campaign.
Yeah, dispatchers from inside the box. Or
Yeah,
from outside the
dispatch.
box.
There you go. Dispatch from outside the box. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
they couldn't just say Google.
It's that, and big shout out to Nita Lanning, who is CEO. She's the big wig over at Raging 2, the network that they just started, that they launched, and she did a very nice. I don't know if anybody saw that, but yesterday at 9 o'clock was the premiere of the show that you're going to be on next week.
Yeah,
and she did a really really nice tribute to Meredith Logren. For those who don't know, she was the other half. It was Nita and Meredith, and they had a show called Raging Cajun. Raging ABC.
Nita was Raging, and I think Meredith was Cajun.
No. So Nita was Cajun.
Is she?
Nita was Cajun because she's
Nita's always Raging.
She's spicy. and then Meredith was Asian because she's Asian. She was half Asian.
Oh.
So unfortunately, Meredith passed away. And so she did a really nice tribute to her. She read one of the final notes that she had left her. And just encouraging words. I had no idea Meredith had an amazing voice. She used to sing, and so she did a really nice tribute yesterday, right before they started that show. The launch was yesterday, and very nice, man, very nice. I love the way they put all that together. So they're doing their thing over there at the network. So good for Nita. Good for Nita.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And C. Michael Lanning, her husband, was one of the hosts. He had Stone Abdullah, man, with the voice.
Abdullah.
Bro, I don't know what you're gonna do. You put a mic in your mouth and make it sound deeper.
That's right. Yeah, we're gonna do a duet. We're gonna do a duet. That's right. It's gonna be like Sha-na-na. He'll be like do. And I'll hit the high notes, and he'll be the bass.
Wow.
We'll take a role. And he plays the guitar.
He does, right?
Yeah. So I'll be Axl Rose, and he could be Slash.
There you go. Do it up.
Yo, Stone at a bar must be like off the chain. Like I hope one day we run into each other at Comic-Con where we can go out and hang out because he is the man.
Yeah,
it's like what
hysterical.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a good time next week. So make sure you tune into that next week. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to their channel because they have a really really dope channel. They do.
Yes.
Nita does a show with Daphne Lage at 11 o'clock on every day, actually, Monday through Friday.
Right before we bring in our guests, I'll play a bump for their channel so you guys know exactly what we're talking about when we're talking about the ladies.
Yes, indeedy. But yeah, so we got Duty, and then if you guys haven't yet, if you haven't heard, The Adventures of Wonderduck, my book, has a pre-launch page right now for the campaign that's coming out in May.
In May 2027, this guy has the longest campaign landing page on the history of landing pages.
Don't listen
crazy.
To him. May 4th, 2022.
He launched this landing page in August of last year.
Listen, you gotta get on the, you gotta get on that, man.
It's like a little overly ambitious. I think people forgot about it. What was it again? It was Wonder what?
So this is their reminder. It is still around. So if you want, there will be a link down in the show notes. You can hit the link, go to the pre-launch page, hit the notify me button, because if you hit the notify me button today, right now, right, and then you hit me up over here at the Adventures of WD. You see the little link there. If you hit me up there, send me a DM.
Just hit him.
Say, hey man, I signed up to your launch page. Send me your email address. I will send you an exclusive PDF of a print for Wonderduck. That is only going to be exclusive to you guys, only for the people who hit the notify me button and let me know you hit it. Let me know you did that because I will send you that PDF. Now, when the campaign goes live on May 4th, if you do pledge to a physical tier, I will then print out the 8x10 and send it over to you with everything.
He's sending you a police department fine. That's
what
PDF stands for.
No,
he's acting up. Don't fall for it.
Police department fine. I'm gonna send you a PDF. I'm not into the NFTs yet, so I wouldn't be sending you an NFT in the mail. as an email, but I will be sending you a PDF. So we're gonna keep it to the PDFs.
NFT means no freaking tacos.
No.
Stop backing up.
This is what you mean? No freaking tacos. Is what you think? Unbelievable. You're showing your age, Sam. You're showing your age.
Is that what it is?
The young kids know what an NFT is.
They do?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
But anyway, that's what you'll get. So please sign up to the page today. And then, you know,
Yes, that's Wonderduck. And again, if you haven't done so already, check out There's Nailing in My Toy. There's a lot of add-ons. There's also the Monster Pack.
Oh, yeah, we weren't finished with that, were we?
The Monster Sticker Pack is out of control.
Much.
And then I got something special for this weekend. There's going to be a special bundle for this weekend. And this is going to be, it's going to be something. It's going to be something special. Something special.
Yeah, something special.
Yeah, just for this, it's only going to be for Saturday and Sunday. And,
this is it.
And it might have something to do with the 6-inch figure. I don't know.
Oh, my God.
I'm only making 2 available for this weekend in a special bundle. So if you're a collector, this is the weekend.
This is why people wait till the last minute, because they know us creators start getting desperate and we just start throwing stuff.
It ain't cheap, but it's gonna be nice. It ain't cheap. I'm not giving it away. It ain't cheap.
All right.
But you know what? If you like the Super Duty bundle,
yes,
you might be able to add this on to that Super Duty bundle.
Ooh, boy. Yes.
Only 2 will be available. Only 2, and they will only be virgins.
Whoa.
So there's gonna be the plain ones.
No paint. So
you get to paint it yourself. So for me so I had to deliberate with Duty and his father, and so during deliberation they said, look, if you're gonna put in the work, then it's gotta be here. But if you're not gonna put in the work, then it's gotta be here. And I was like, yes, sir. And so I went and got my marching orders. But this weekend is gonna be something hot.
Gotcha. So it's funny because you're not even in the ship anymore. They must have just kicked you out. Yo, what up, Heck? Ooh, Heck.
I'm not in what?
You're not in the spaceship anymore. You must.
No, they kicked me out. Cause man, I kept how hard it is to pee in space.
I don't.
So it was going everywhere. So they got annoyed. They were tired of cleaning up the place.
Let me find out.
It's like
you were like an unspace cat.
It's like forget about the other part. But I'm like, yo, it's over. It's like dodging.
You were just spraying them. I like it. I like it. So Hector Rodriguez, for those who don't know, Hector is an incredible artist, and I have been very fortunate enough to have received something from him that I will be displaying when the campaign goes live. It is off the hook. So yeah, check it out when it goes live. But yeah, for those who don't know, Hector Rodriguez,
check out my melody.
Incredible artist. Follow him.
Follow him. Yeah. So with and again, I don't know what happened. We had the gates secured, and something happened, and the gates just blew open, and the calendar has been flooded with guests that have been coming left and right onto the. All I know is that every day I'm getting calendar. It's like. I said, yo, is someone just giving out the invites for like popcorn? Like, here, you get an invite. Get it. It's straight up through May.
Listen, it's not a secret. Hey, it's in the show notes. So people are obviously watching the show. So thank you all for watching.
Catching the craze.
Yeah, catch it, baby. Catch it.
Crazy. I was like, what the?
Catching the craze.
Someone asked me, how do you find guests? I said, I don't. They just show up. I go out to get the morning mail. They're out there. I'm like, oh, snap. I go to mow my lawn and they're out there. I'm like, oh, where'd you come from? It's like,
big shout out to all the indies that are trying to get on the show, man. We appreciate you guys. And listen, the channel is growing, man. It's growing. We're at 558 subscribers right now.
And we're about to hit 95,000 views.
We're hitting them views. We're hitting the views. We're hitting subscribers. We're about to hit our 400th show.
400 episode. Yes. Yeah. 400 guests. That's crazy. We have over 600 videos on the channel, but we have 400 guests. So the 400, Catch the Craze specifically, we're going to hit episode 400. I think the What's in the Box is in the 50s. The Craze and 10 less in the 70s. It's crazy. And then
they're piling up.
And tomorrow morning we'll be on the Morning Brew with the Crazy Crew for episode number 3. In fact, I gotta upload that stuff today too.
That's right.
Good Lord, I need an assistant. Intern.
Herb, you fired Herb a long time ago. Herb never looked back.
Yo, what the hell? The life of a brokepreneur is crazy.
It is insane.
I'll be coming your way this year.
Oh, yes, let's do it.
Bring some pasteles and some tostones, man. I'm telling you.
Let's freaking do it, man.
Yeah. So with that said, we're hitting that 15-minute mark. So we're going to bump the girls from Raging Cajun. And when we come back, we're going to bring in our very special guest to talk about his campaign that's on fire right now. So here we go.
Hi everyone, Daphne Lage here. Join Nita Lanning and me on the Ragin' to the Vlogs show, where we talk about everything, nothing, and all the bits in between. Looking for hour-long conversations about indie comics, social media marketing, and crowdfunding, with the occasional rant and story time? Head on over to the Ragin' 2 channel on YouTube, Mondays through Fridays at 11 a.m. Eastern to join in the chat. Hit the button.
Yes, so now we're welcome Jerry E4 Comic into his house.
What's up, fellas? How you doing today?
We're good, Jerry. We're good. How you doing, man? Where you coming from? Where are you streaming from right now?
Born and raised in Brooklyn, currently living in Long Island right now.
Wow, nice. Yeah, I was born in Brooklyn. I raised in Queens, moved to Jersey. Now I'm in Texas.
Texas, really?
Yeah. New York was acting up. It's like, yo,
facts. Oh man, so Jerry, thank you for coming on the show. Welcome to Catch the Craze. We've checked out your campaign. Looks awesome. We're talking to Jerry. And Jerry, pronounce your last name for me because I always kill last names. What I do.
You said it great. Chatelain.
Chatelain.
I've gotten Chatelain. I've got the
Chatelain.
Crazy. Yeah. And I'm like, who? Wait, what?
That is awesome.
So you did a phenomenal job, man.
You got a little French in there. What's your background? What's your back?
I'm Haitian, but the name is definitely French.
Yes. All right. So Jerry, let's get to know you a little bit. Tell the audience a little bit about little Jerry when you were a kid growing up. Tell us what it was like.
Little Jerry. Basically, little Jerry was I grew up in the hard Brooklyn life. That's my brother right there, so ignore him. All right, ignore him. So I grew up, in a difficult life. Basically, I was also adopted growing up as well. That's my adopted brother that's commenting that bullshit down there. So, so we grew up a hard life, and that had a big impact in basically writing this story. The elements, so there's a lot of that kind of background into the story. After that happening, basically got a full hold of my life. Now I'm currently an EMT in New York City for the fire department. So, I deal with all the craziness and tragedies and everything. So
I hear you, man. Hey, listen, man. Thank you so much for everything you've already done out there, man. I know the last 2 years must have been just insane for you. So thank you, dude. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much, man.
And in all that chaos and all that madness, you managed to create this story, right?
So the funny thing about it is because of that chaos, and I think a lot of indie creators will say that even though COVID was devastating, it forced a lot of people to bunker down.
That's right.
And to actually start working on things that they've always wanted to work on. So the book that I have now on Kickstarter is issue 2, but believe it or not, my first book came out back in 2016.
Oh wow!
And that was the elements. It was called issue 1. It was issue 0. It was this. So me and my brother as well, 2 of our closest friends, basically got together to create and write this book. And after releasing issue 0. You live, you learn from your mistakes. One of the biggest things we learned from was, after creating this book, we should have ride that momentum.
Right.
Because we were selling a lot, we was pretty much selling CDs out of the trunk of the car, like
the hustle was
exactly, so it's pretty much what we were doing. And we sold quite a few of them, but everything kind of died down after that. And because, like I said, COVID happened, besides the madness and craziness at work, you couldn't go anywhere afterwards. So it kind of forced us to bunker down and like, yeah, you know what, we need to really continue the story. And that's what we managed to do and continue doing till this day.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what got you into comics?
I've always been, like Marvel, DC, guy growing up and everything. I'm a kid at heart till this day, 37 kid at heart. Basically what got us into creating our own comic was anime. We got into anime first. And I still remember the first day of getting my eyes on the first episode of an anime, which will always be now my number one. It doesn't mean it's the best, but it's my number one because it started everything for me, is DBZ. Waking up 5:30 in the morning and seeing it, playing at like channel 11, I think it was, early in the morning, that blew me away. Right. So me and my brother got wind of it, and then our friends got wind of it, and it was like ever since then we've just been like heavy anime guys. So when we decided to create the comic, it was due to, obviously we wanted to create an anime first, but if anybody knows anything about animation, it costs a lot of money. It's not happening, So, and like he said, no cable got us into comics. So
you want to create an animation, you better sell a lot more than just comics.
Oh my goodness,
you better have a tractor trailer full of comics.
I'm telling you, man. So we decided that basically coming and creating a comic book would be an easier path. But even that met a lot of, roadblocks, because none of us are real artists to begin with. Like, I'm the writer of E4 of the Elements, and my brother, he's the co-creator, he's the editor, and then the other two also co-creators. So we basically just throwing our ideas together, and it's my job to create the story out of all that. Right. So as we started doing that, we got another friend of ours. He's the concept artist of E4 Comics. His name is Dennis. He came out and drew out our characters for us. And that was kind of like the spark that we needed to know that this was going to be possible. So from him doing that, I started getting into Facebook groups of artists, writers, comic creators, and I ended up finding a comic book artist that, basically his thing was like anime art. So he was able to take what my concept artist did and turn it into an anime looking, comic book with the characters and everything. Right. So that was the creation of issue 0. So once that happened, after we finished selling that, because it took so long to get into the next issue, which is issue 1, we lost contact with that artist. So then we had to find a new artist, which helped us create the first book, issue 1, The Elements, The Awakening. And we created that, and now, unfortunately, things didn't work out with that artist.
Wow.
Yeah. That's why I tell people it's never easy. Whatever it is that you're trying to do, it's never easy. There's always going to be something going wrong, or there's going to be roadblocks. So we end up finding a third artist for this book, and she's been amazing since.
Nice.
Is
the story going to be an ongoing story, Jerry, or what are the plans for the story itself?
Oh yeah, it's going to be an ongoing story. It's going to be going for a while, I hope. Like, I can't tell you how many issues there's going to be.
Yeah.
Because as long as we can continue it, we're going to keep going. Like, we know how it ends.
Sure.
But basically all the in-between things is basically what we're still putting together, and how we eventually get there. So, I'd say that we've got a lot of story for quite a few issues, for as long as people is willing to buy it and read it. Yeah. And we even got spin-off issues as well that we plan on putting out in the future. So we got big plans for the Elements.
Good.
So walk us through the creative process from script to illustrations. What's the working relations like with the artist? How did you find your artist? And then what are the timelines that you give each other?
So when we first started doing it, when we first created issue 0, we sat down and we spoke about what exactly do we want to put out? Where do we want to start? We decided that we were going to create an issue that was kind of out of the timeline
Right.
of where we wanted to begin, because we wanted to create something, I guess, that was more visually pleasing. So if you open the Elements books, the issue 0, basically you see 4 brothers hanging out in a house in the woods, and they're like, hey, it's been a while since we played handball. For anybody that grew up in New York City, you know what handball is.
Oh, yeah.
So it was like, yo, it's been a while since we played handball. So they end up getting all 4 of them together, and they go to the handball courts and they play handball. And then all of a sudden they get like a feeling that something's wrong. And they fly towards that, and they basically get to encounter these what we call twin titans, one of their strongest enemies that they had to face so far. And during that, they start going through the process of discovering more about their powers and abilities. So we wanted to get people to read it and be like, wow, this is amazing. What's going on? Like, where does this all begin? And then we start with the awakening, which basically takes you back to the brothers being in the orphanage and when they first discovered their powers, which basically their powers come from 4 stones that they find giving them the powers of fire, water, wind, and electricity.
Right.
So once we decided to do that, like I said, we started throwing the ideas. Like, we throw in ideas like, this is what I like from anime or cartoons. This is what I don't like. This is what I would like to see. This is what I don't like. Maybe we'd see an anime, be like, yeah, I love this anime, but if I had to change something, it would change this around. You know, just those kind of ideas we're throwing in there, putting together. And
it sounds like playing, right? Remember when you were kids and you had your action figures and your buddy came over with his action figures and you're just, you're just playing. It's like playing games.
Exactly. Yep.
Exactly what you're describing, right? Like you would say, oh, I'm going to do this now. And it's like, that's exactly what you're describing, but now you're putting it into a story.
And putting it right into a story. Yep, 100%.
Quick question for you, Jay. You mentioned that the characters, got together playing handball and they fly towards what they saw. Did they already have powers? Or they didn't even know? They already had them, but they had no idea.
So let's say issue 0 would be, you guys are familiar with Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Perfect. Issue 0 would be the Frieza saga.
Okay.
That's where it's at. So now from the Frieza saga, like they used to do with Channel 11, once you get to a good point, they restart it all over again. That's basically what happened. So it's like right there at the Frieza saga, and now we're going all the way back to episode 1. And now eventually the comic book will reach back to issue 0 where that left off.
Damn.
Right.
And bringing the whole story together.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
So.
Issue zeros reminds me of like Sam, you're a big fan of the issue 0s from back in the days with the, with the Image crew, right? They always have the issue 0s. Is that where your influence came from with doing an issue 0? What was the mindset behind calling it issue 0 and not just like 1?
Honestly, originally we just called it The Elements.
Gotcha.
That was the original name. It was just called The Elements. But then getting together with some of the comic book creators that I have. So I'm also part of a group called the SSB, if you guys should be familiar with, because you had one of my members on your show a few weeks back, Christopher Michaels.
Oh, yeah.
Comics.
Yeah.
So I learned a lot from that group. And they kind of gave me the idea when I started my first Kickstarter to name it issue 0. Gotcha. Because it's kind of just out of place of everything else. And so we just ran with that.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
So walk us through your project and give us the premise of the characters. I'm gonna pull up your campaign right here.
Yeah,
boom. So walk us through it.
So basically it's about 4 brothers that were found as babies in the woods, just abandoned in the woods by a sister. They were taken and they were raised in an orphanage with other children. While they were being raised, basically they realized that these 4 boys were already different to begin with. They were stronger, faster, more durable than any other children in the orphanage.
Wow.
So now when they got to the age of 17, they basically decided that they wanted to leave the orphanage to discover the outside world. So one night they left the orphanage in the middle of the night and decided to go to the woods to try and head for the city. Before they did that, they wanted to, leave a memory behind and decided to play a game of manhunt between the four of them. I'm bringing it all back. All the
for
games
real. I'm like,
bro.
manhunt. Damn. For those who don't know, manhunt was like a hide and seek game for us kids in the hood. Like it was like hide and seek in the hood. Manhunt. We didn't call it hide and seek. That was too easy. We called it manhunt.
Manhunt. That's exactly what it was, man.
So go ahead.
So they decided to do that, and during their, adventures through the woods, they all went through a hallucination, which pretty much brought them into contact with their stones. They weren't aware about what was happening to them until after they met back up and was like, yo, something weird just happened to me. And they're all telling each other the story. They're like, you know what, since tonight is already too weird, how about we just head back to the orphanage and we rethink our strategy? So they go back to the orphanage. The next morning, they get awakened by screams. When they get up to check, now the orphanage is being attacked by these unknown creatures. So they manage to defend the orphanage from these attackers, and they say to themselves, yo, if they're here, they might be in the town nearby where they get their groceries and everything from. So they run to the town, and the town is under siege, it's under fire. So they do their best to try and protect the town, and that's when they first discover that they have these powers. So all of a sudden, a hooded man shows up and helps them defend the town from these unknown assailants. So after defeating them, that hooded man disappears. So on their way back to the orphanage, they pretty much encounter that hooded man again, which is on the front cover of The Awakening. They encounter him in the woods, and that's pretty much where that book ends. So now the burden of truth is the continuation of what happens next. So most of our issues are going to be back to back. Like it's just going to continue from where the last one left off.
It's like watching a cartoon, right? You leave off, boom, and you want to check out the next one. I love the design for the hooded character. It's really
Thank you, man.
I'm gonna play your promo. Hold on a second. Nice.
That's cool, man.
Special shout out to my sister-in-law, Amanda, for helping me put that together.
Very nice, dude. I like the music.
She did a great job with that.
For sure. And listen, big shout out to you, man. 56 backers. You have 17 days to go. You've already made goal. You're at 3146 and still going, man. You have plenty of time to blast through that stuff. So that's awesome, dude.
Thank you. I appreciate it. A lot of facial recognition I gotta do on these cameras, man. Like the sad thing about it is that I'm not really the type to I don't like putting myself out there. I'm like the kind of dude, you keep me in a cubicle, you'd be like, yo, just pump out stories. That's gonna be me, son. But to make your dreams come true, you you got to step out the comfort zone. So.
Yeah, you got to get uncomfortable. You got to get uncomfortable for sure.
Definitely. Man. So as you can see, if you see through the videos, you see like the art style kind of changes as it gets to the new books. I mean,
right.
Like I always tell people, like the last artist that we were using, though I loved his like artwork and everything, it was just like you were mentioning before, the process of creating it, we couldn't stay within any deadlines because that's just how slow we were moving. Yeah. Like I would send the artist a few pages and I wouldn't hear from that artist for months. And then when I finally get a response, it was just like the line art that was done or sketches. So I couldn't plan any like, any cons or, any like interviews or any showcases or anything like that because we weren't meeting any deadlines.
Right.
So after creating that first book, it was like, yeah, we need to part ways because this is not working out. Now finding this new artist, I feel like an abused, like an abused husband or wife that finally had the will to leave and found someone to treat them right. And it's like, wow, this is what life is supposed to be, huh? Like
this is you now, yeah.
Because
you're smiling more now. Look at you.
Like she's finishing these artworks at record time. Like by the looks of it, we might even be able to pump out 3 issues within this year.
Awesome. Yeah. See, Hector said it himself. That design is cool, man, with the face and the blue hood, but he's got the cutoff sleeves. Like that's really cool. Who designs the characters? Like I know you said you and your partners, you're all writers. So do you leave that up to the artist to design, or do you kind of have like stick figure drawings and say, "Hey,
I'm master of stick figures." All right, master of stick figures. So definitely there was a lot of stick figures involved. Basically, we all had like an image of how we wanted like these characters to look like. So, we all put in our input and everything, but it was just kind of like, like my character, like I write over the character Pyro. Like my brother, he writes over the character Sky. 2 other friends do Hydro and Shot. So we basically write on their appearance how we want them to look or, make that decision. And then our friend Dennis kind of creates the concept art of that and brings it to life, and then from there we would send it to our artist, and then that artist brought those characters to like that actual anime, feel and look to it.
How did you decide who did what character? Is it based on your personalities?
Yes, each character are based on our personality. So Pyro's based on mine, Sky's based on my brother's, Shock is based on our close friend Corey, and then Hydro's on our other best friend Hassan. So each of those characters got like different match our personality within the book. So that's what we try to write and keep it familiar to us about how they act.
Yeah, that looks cool, man. And I do like, this is your new artist here. This is their artwork here.
Yep, that's the new art.
Very nice. I like that.
So one of like the main questions we always get is, so who's the strongest and who's the leader? And it's always like, that's the special thing about this book. There is none. There is none. All 4 brothers work alongside each other, just like we do in real life. If we got a situation, we get together and we discuss that situation to resolve the problem. If one person is better, like at that situation, then they would take the lead. If the other one is, then that person would take the lead. That's how we work with it.
Oh, that's awesome. And you put that into the book. So teamwork is a big concept that you guys talk about and deal with within the pages of the book. That's like awesome. Now, is this going to read like a manga would read, or is it just you're going to read this like a regular comic book?
Like, are you talking about going the opposite direction? No, it's going to read like a regular comic book, because I would get lost doing that myself.
Yeah, right. I don't even know. I don't even know how I would do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I would really have to like learn that
because you're resetting your reset button, like to do that. So
that's a dope piece right there.
Yeah. So before we launched the Kickstarter, what we did, we had a draw this in your style contest.
Okay.
Basically, we had artists, choose between the 4 brothers and this character, draw it in your style, and we let our fans, E4 Comics fan, decide which one was first, second, and third place. So what we ended up doing was First place got like $75, plus their image is going to be featured within the Kickstarter comic book or Burden of Truth with their handles on it to promote them.
Gotcha.
Right.
So second place, the same thing, but they got $50. The third place got $25. So these are the top 3 winners that we got from that.
Awesome, man. Oh, look, a drawing contest, Sam, right up your alley, man. Sam loves drawing contests.
Oh man, I would have loved for him to enter it.
I posed for that image right there.
How you did? Yeah, nah, man, this looks awesome, bro. I really like your tiers, dude. I really like that you're thinking outside the box. I especially, I mean, obviously, and I want to get to the one for the kids, but I definitely like one of your pledges here, which is choose your element bundle. And so the tier, you get to choose which element character you want from Pyro, Sky, Hydra, and Shock, and you will receive the following set of that character. So when you choose that, say for example, you take that tier, right? And you say, I want Shock. Everything you get in that bundle is set around Shock. That's awesome. That's awesome. So what do you get? Like, what are some of the things you get? I mean, I know there's a long list, but just verbally tell us what you
no
get.
problem. So obviously you're going to get the comic book Burden of Truth. Then you're going to get a special chibi shirts that we started to create, that we created for this Kickstarter. Okay. So you're gonna get a chibi image of Shock. And then we also decided to go a little different, create something new as well. We started to create challenge coins, E4 comic coins. So you're going to get, exclusive Shock challenge coin within that bundle. There's going to be Shock posters, Shock stickers, nice. And even digital files of Shock as well.
Yeah, so it's like pick your favorite character.
Pick your favorite character
for each character, which is
exactly.
Brilliant.
Yep,
brilliant.
That's exactly what we're trying to do. So,
yeah. How do you find that's working? Are you getting what's the response to something like this? Are you getting a good response from people?
Yes.
Who's their favorite character? Who's their favorite character? Who are you getting?
Yo, I'm always gonna say Pyro's gonna win the race. So that's the 4 brothers right there. So that's us 4 right there. We all got dressed up because we decided to do the Tough Mudder last year.
Oh yeah, okay.
So we all wore our elemental shirts.
That's awesome.
So we also got a lot of attention for wearing those shirts over there as well. So I'm always gonna say Pyro's gonna get the most, the most sales and everything. So that's just the way it is. That's Dennis. He's camera shy, so that's why he sent us that image of himself. This is the new artist that we got. Like I said, she's just been phenomenal. She's the one that's putting the books together. Like, we're currently even working on a 3rd book as we speak as well. That's Chris, who you guys had on your show a couple of weeks back. He's lettering my book and pretty much most of the members of the SSB books.
Gotcha.
So,
nice. Awesome, brother. So now tell us a little bit about the bundle for the kids. I know you're doing something special for the kids.
So we decided to do something. We got together with an organization called Comic Book for Kids, CB4K.
Right.
Basically, it's an organization that takes comics that people are willing to donate and send them to sick kids in hospitals across the country.
That's awesome.
A friend of mine that, backed my first Kickstarter, after reading my books, he sent the extra books to the owner of that organization, Mark Wise, and he reached out to us about, doing this. And he was saying that basically he wants me and other creators to use that organization. However, it helps them as, to get more books and comics to that organization.
That's cool.
So he gave me the idea to start doing this. So I decided to add 3 ways that you can help support this campaign. Any money that you donate to the Kickstarter without any tiers automatically goes to ordering more books to send to them. We have a special tier that you can choose from that basically sends a certain number of books to that organization as well. Or if you decide that, you want to choose a tier for yourself, you have the ability to add on to your order an additional book, 2, 3, 4, however you want, that will also be sent to them.
All right, that's awesome, bro. Yeah, no, that's awesome. Sam and I always have the conversation about, we gotta get kids reading again, and especially kids, who are in need like this. It's a beautiful thing you're doing, man, and I appreciate that. That's
I
awesome.
appreciate it. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
I'm always about I know whatever it is that I receive, I try my best to give back.
Yeah.
So even like my first Kickstarter, the big thing was spreading word about indie comics. So I had a whole bunch of indie promotions in that book, as well, constantly going. So this one, I still have some of that going, but I decided to base this around the CV4K as well.
That's awesome. That's good. And I like the fact that you made it an add-on. So even if you want a tier and you want the book for yourself, but you also want to donate and you also want to help out, it's part of the add-on. And the books obviously get printed and then get sent out for the kids to be able to enjoy them. Yep. And that's cool, man. I like that. I like that a lot.
Thank you, man. We always got to try and change the game up a bit. Absolutely. Try to do what we can, just to bring more attention to, the things besides your project or anything else out there.
Yeah, no. You're doing it, man. You're doing it. You're doing a great job. And it looks like you guys are going to hit some stretch goals. So what do you got planned for stretch goals before we let you go?
Yeah.
So first stretch goal, which we already hit, you're going to, even though the contest is over, there was some honorable mentions that I was just like, yeah, I can't let this fall. Like, I love these images so much. I got to do something with them. So those artists allowed me to take those images and create mini posters that all physical backers will receive with their orders. The second stretch goal is, if we reach that mark, we will be adding 5 pages from the 3rd issue called The Elements Dice Saga Part 1 into Burden of Truth. So now you get an exclusive look at the 3rd issue that will be coming out later on this year.
All right, nice. All
right. 3rd stretch goal, we've still been kind of playing around with.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure about that yet, but I'll post as soon as I narrow it down what we want to do about it.
All right.
Nice. Nice. So I'm going to give you the screen. I want you to give us your elevator pitch. Tell the world why they need to back the Elements.
All right. The Elements, basically, if you guys are into shows like Ninja Turtles, One Piece, Naruto, Avatar, The Last Airbender, that whole connection of brotherhood and, helping and respect for each other is what you'll get within the Elements. 4 brothers growing up faced with the choice of either defending what they love or running away, and nothing gets in between their connection. So you're going to watch them grow. You're going to watch them from when they first began with their abilities to what they become at the end, just like what we love most about watching these animes, like watching Naruto. When he started out, everyone hated him. Now he's the Hokage of his village. So we have a lot of character development that we can't wait to show you guys. And we hope you guys definitely continue to follow and support us in our campaign.
Outstanding. And where can people find you?
You can find me at E4 Comics on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. What do you call it? TikTok. We're trying to be everywhere. You can definitely find the link to the Kickstarter within our Instagram, within Facebook, and everywhere else that we have it.
Outstanding, brother. Great job in your campaign. You guys are doing your thing. Good bounce back from your challenges with your artists, and can't wait to see what happens next. And you always have a spot on Catch the Craze, so you just holler.
I definitely want to give you guys, thank you guys for what you guys do. People like you guys are very important to indie creators like me and everyone else out there. Because of you guys why we're able to get this word out there and everything. So you guys are saying that you don't know why you guys are getting all these calendar things. And it's like, bro, you see what you guys do? You guys are phenomenal at what you do.
Thanks, man.
So thank you guys for what you do. We truly appreciate it.
You're the man, my brother. Hey, listen, open invitation whenever you want. I'm still in New York. You want to go hit some handball? We got manhunt, whatever you want, bro.
George can't play handball. George knows nothing about handball.
I'm an athlete, bro.
George will play basketball, not handball.
Listen, handball is a New York thing.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, you're
Orchard Beach, bro. Orchard Beach. Handball, it was on. Let's go.
You were
Coney Island, baby. Coney
Yeah.
Island.
All right. Jerry, thank you so much, man. Jerry Chatelain, everybody. And make sure you go to the campaign, pledge, and help them get to those stretch goals. We got to see what else is coming up. What else you guys got? And I can't wait for your third comic, man. You guys are gonna keep doing it. I know it gets tough, bro, but don't give up. You guys have been doing a great job, so keep it going, man.
We appreciate it. Thank you guys so much, man.
You take care.
Take care, guys.
All right, peace.
So that was another episode of Catch the Craze. That was Jerry. And again, the campaign link is in the summary. It's also in the chats. So head over there, check it out. There's a lot to offer. And again, we joke about around about how did everybody find us? But you know what? I remember when we first came back in 2019, our first episode in September 2019. Yeah. We was like, we gotta find guests. And we haven't had that problem in a hot minute. And so we thank you. We thank you for choosing Catch the Craze as your home to promote who you are, what you do to the audience out there. So if you haven't done so already, please like, subscribe. If you have any comments or questions, let us know. You have any recommendations for future shows, let us know. Tomorrow we're going to be 9 a.m. on the Morning Brew with the Crazy Crew. And we're going to be deep diving into, what was the subject?
It was public domain.
Public domain. We'll be deep diving into that. And then join us in 10 minutes. We're going to be back on here live with a very special guest. Every time I hear the name, I feel like Ogre. I'm like, nerds. So it's gonna be on like Donkey Kong.
yes, it'll be on. So yeah, join us in a few minutes. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. And we'll see you in a little bit.
And if you haven't done so already, there's Native in My Toilet. Check it out. It'll make you laugh. With that said, I'm Sam the Crazy Man Vera.
George the Dreamer Medina.
And we are out.
It's just easy. It's not.
Crazy. Acquiesce.
No, I was talking about my friend Acquiesce. I met him. Say my name, right? This is what you were thinking?
Oh,
He described me. He said, I'm the
What? Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. Catch the Craze. You are listening to Catch the Craze on Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze.